I've never seen anything come out of it, but
No.
but
You'd be surprised.
Well, that's as good a place as any to get into it. We've got a lot to talk about today. The first movie on the list is 1983, Staying Alive. Now, this is the sequel to the 1977 disco smash sensation, John Travolta's Saturday Night Fever, which was a huge success, made millions of dollars.
Quick question: who's seen Saturday Night Fever?
No,
I haven't seen.
So none of us have seen
I
it.
was hoping this would
I
happen.
want to watch that though. I've heard it's fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That one's like culturally stayed
Yeah.
relevant in some way. Like I'm aware of that film. I know it's a disco dancing movie.
Can we take a couple of minutes to discuss what we think happens in that film?
That's a good point. If we,
I think I kind of pieced it together.
maybe yeah.
from
So,
this
so
movie,
based,
so
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know, maybe we
Yeah.
should leave that for
Leave
later.
it for later. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about this movie. I feel like, just jumping ahead to Staying Alive for a second, this movie is okay. Like, it's not shit, but maybe people were expecting something better compared to Saturday Night Fever.
Well, that's exactly what I think. That's the only reason that this would be so rotten.
it's like The Matrix 2 or something. Your expectations are so high by this, I assume, groundbreaking or at least massive cultural film. Or tomato, as some would say.
Yeah.
That you'd go, that second one was trash comparatively. But to us who haven't seen it, I don't know what you guys think, but it wasn't that bad at all.
I really liked it. I really liked this movie. Thoroughly
I would not
enjoyed
go
it.
that far. And I definitely, as I watched,
I agree. Yeah.
I could see why it was not well received.
Yeah.
It had a lot of issues, but it wasn't what I was expecting from a 0%er, which was one of the worst films you've ever seen. That's
trash.
just like painful to watch.
Yeah, no, it was totally enjoyable to watch.
There didn't seem to be much reference to anything that happened before this movie, other than the parts where John Travolta's character, Tony Manero, was like, to his mum, I'm sorry I used to be such an asshole,
Yeah.
Mum. And it's like, we don't know. What
And there
you're
was
talking
one
about. You're
scene
still
where
an
he was
asshole.
talking to one of the girls, and he's like, I used to be from Brooklyn, and I moved to Manhattan. I'm not the same guy I was. I'm like, maybe the old film was set in Brooklyn. I don't know too much about like New York geography, but they'd be right near each other, right? They're just like, it's like going from a suburb or a borough to another
Yeah, I
borough.
think
Like,
that's
Yeah, but
I-
it's Brooklyn in the 70s, so I assume that
it was rough.
probably Saturday Night Fever, the fever was crime or crack. I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping ahead.
Before we go too far, do we have some key questions to ask each other? Which is, did everyone watch this movie?
Yeah,
I watched
think
it.
we didn't
And-
watch the original. We've watched this sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did we watch it? What was the setting
Oh,
that
yeah,
you
true.
watched this film?
I just finished watching it like 15 minutes ago. I couldn't take my eyes off the film and the tomato. But yeah, it was a peaceful watch.
I watched it last night. Sorry, I watched it on my own, just on TV, and
It just happened to air on TV.
no, I downloaded it and plugged it into the TV. But yeah, it was like not that fun to watch, but it was very in and out for me. Like I had a lot of surprises. Well, okay. Oh, this is happening. This person directed it, which we can get to. These guys did the music for it. Oh wow, I didn't know any of that. But yeah, that was how I watched it. What about you guys?
I just watched it a couple of nights ago on my laptop, streamed off like one of these like Putlocker websites. The quality had to be 480, and that was disappointing because I recently downloaded it for a rewatch because I liked it so much. And the answer to the question is I watched an hour and 10 minutes of it on a Thursday night, and then it got to midnight, and I was like, oh shit, I should really go to sleep. And then I watched the last 20 minutes a second before coming here because I forgot I hadn't finished the movie. Sorry, so that's why I'm late.
And what about you, Mitch?
Well, I thought I was going to be late because I woke up at 11:45. That we were meant to start at 1. So what I did is
And it's a 96-minute film.
96-minute film. So
So he goes, I don't have enough time.
You do the math.
obviously, I put it to 1.5 speed, and I did everything. I was getting it done. It really made it more of a panic kind of moment because I couldn't find certain things, and I was like, I gotta be there by 1.
I think watching it fast speed may have been the best way to watch it.
100%. It really was. I think it's the only way to really watch
Because
this
this was a movie that had some extended dance sequences.
Oh, yeah.
And the first thing I
You
noticed
just fly through.
was the opening credits went for a full 4 minutes
Yeah.
without a single thing being said, and it was just like dance training. Kurtwood Smith was in there.
Kurtwood Smith was
Is that,
in there.
is that Red
from that 70s
Oh,
show?
And he
yeah.
doesn't come back.
No.
at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah.
Says
You
nothing.
think he's going to be the perfect guy to bring these guys
Yeah.
back down to earth? He never has a
He'll
line.
be like the
Maybe.
harsh dance teacher, which I can only assume he was in
But it was
Saturday
a-
Night Fever,
Can I-
right?
can
He
I-
has
That's what
to
I
be
was
in that
thinking,
movie.
Can I set the record straight? It was an audition, right? It wasn't. We open on an audition where
I think
Travolta's
so.
dancing his
Yeah.
ass off trying to hopefully get a job. Maybe I've got that
Yeah.
wrong. But
Yeah.
anyway, sorry, go on.
No, that's what I thought as well. I was like, because he leaves kind of angrily or like gets asked to leave or something.
That's right. He gets pointed out
Yeah.
and then he gets
and
pissed.
then he talks to some person at these stairs, and yeah, the movie from there gets weird. But I was like, oh, it's Kurtwood Smith. He's going to be like the angry dance teacher. He's going to show him how to be. And then he wasn't in the movie again. I
He's just
thought
gone.
maybe he was like a main character in the first one.
That song that plays there in the opening is genius. It's a really good song. It's like a mixture of later Doobie Brothers and something else. But yeah, it's a really, really good song. And then he goes off to his dance studio and
Yeah.
he's teaching like
That
people
was
who
what
aren't
confused
that
me.
great to dance.
Because those who
Yeah.
can't do teach, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's
So he
the-
goes straight from being in a class and either not cutting it or not being good enough or losing it, and then goes straight to teaching a class. And then the next scene, he's like a waiter in a bar.
Yeah, that's
and I
right.
keep going,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
What is his job?
He's
Like,
burning the candle at
Yeah.
both ends.
You
And
know.
it feels like a little nod to the original movie, which none of us know anything about. But I
yes.
assume that was the whole premise of the first movie, except that he was just doing like disco dancing in the bar that he worked at, probably.
Now,
in the
do you
first
think
movie.
in the first one it ended with him winning a dance competition or booking a huge role or something?
No, I feel like this is a departure from whatever happened in the last one. Like, I don't think he was trying to
Yeah.
professionally dance in the first movie. I thought
No, I
it was
think-
a way of life for him. He
I
just
think-
likes
exactly.
to go
Oh,
out.
wow.
with
Which
it.
is why he's cleaned up his act in this one.
He's turning it into a job.
So maybe
Yeah,
he
exactly.
was like a bit of a rapscallion character. He was getting in trouble,
He's
maybe
turning
doing
around.
drugs
he
and
needed
stuff,
direction.
and
That's right.
hanging out with gangs. But he was also dancing.
Yeah.
And that's what we think the first film was.
You can
yeah.
turn, and then someone gets in his ear and is like,
They're
"You
like,
don't have
you-
to be a drug
Yeah, you
addict
can use
or
this. Can
whatever."
be your life.
Yeah,
And he's
that's
like,
right.
cool. And then he maybe does a big show where he like does the splits on a disco. Like that's like the poster to the movie, right? I don't even know, but he does some sort of big show at a disco, and then they're like, "Wow!" And he's like, "I'm going to move out of this neighborhood. I'm going to make something of myself." And then this is the movie we see.
Has he made something of himself?
Well,
Not-
even
not
at the
yet.
end of this
Well-
movie, who knows? Also interesting, this movie is called Staying Alive.
There's no
But the song
apostrophe
is
on the end.
called "Staying Alive,"
Yeah.
which
Can I-
actually was a roadblock for
And
me trying to find
also,
the song.
Saturday Night
really?
Fever is called Saturday Night Fever, but the Bee Gees have a song called Night Fever. So they're always doing
Yeah.
these interesting little plays.
So obviously,
with this tomato.
one of the things you notice in the opening credits is it's got all this original music by the Bee Gees, which also did the music for Grease, the movie, right? Which was a few years before.
I'm sorry, I don't think
this.
Grease is a movie.
Oh, it's a tomato, I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
some would
that
call
way,
it.
yeah.
But they did original songs for the Grease tomato.
I don't know, maybe one.
I thought Barry Gibb did like the score for it, or generally.
Maybe
The opening song is
Definitely them.
It's sung by someone else, but it is a Gibbs Brothers song.
Yeah,
yeah, but that
yeah.
yeah, they don't have too much to do with that. With
Yeah.
Grease. But
Because
they-
obviously it was a musical before that, but I think they did write music for the movie. But so you're watching the credits and it says original music by the Bee Gees, and you go, "Oh, cool." The movie's called "Staying Alive," and the title track, the song, the tomato, sorry, ends with that song. But they didn't write. That song already existed before this movie, right? It wasn't like
Staying Alive.
Yeah, it wasn't- yeah.
So I got the idea because I did a little bit of research. I used Wikipedia. Don't know if you're familiar, and I think that song is from the first film.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Tomato,
yeah.
like
rather.
so the
Yeah.
era it came
I-
out is 77 or whatever.
it was maybe not written for Saturday Night Fever, but
That's the big
That's the one.
cultural
yeah,
point.
it
Yeah,
might have actually been for the tomato.
So what year did that Saturday Night Fever come out?
that was 77,
And this was
what
82?
I know that
83?
I know that the first scene in Saturday Night Fever is Tony Manaro strutting to that song.
Oh wow!
So that's,
okay.
that's the first
so
scene of that
really-
first
That's
movie.
that's as much of that movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's
And then
not-
they bring it back, and he struts at the end of
At
this
the
one.
end of this
Yeah,
one.
Because
Spoiler
he wants,
alert.
he's like maybe how are we going chronologically?
No, we can go anywhere.
Well, I
man.
do
Alright,
want to stay on the
alright.
credits briefly.
Well, yeah, let's because we are still
Yeah, I mean,
Because
those-
as they roll up, there's producers, and I see a familiar name, and it's Sylvester Stallone. And I go, I didn't know he had anything to do with this tomato. Then it's writers, and him and someone else co-wrote this movie, and then he also directed this movie. So that was a big shock for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm like, I know Rocky was maybe 4 years before this or something, maybe 5.
Yeah.
But-
Oh, no. I feel like
Late
there's
70s?
been a few Rocky movies at this point already. Like, he'd been directing Rocky movies and First Blood.
I definitely want to know where that came in his like directorial career, because I feel like maybe he'd done Rocky, maybe Rocky 2, but this would have been very early on where like, you want to do the sequel to Saturday Night Fever?
Well, this is one of 2 films that he's directed that he hasn't been the star in. And it's the only one that he's appeared in and not been the star in. So every other movie that he's ever been in, he's been a star or like a feature guy. But this, he
didn't even show up in this.
He made a cameo in this
Does he
one.
not show up in the film?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
Wait,
There,
hang on,
there is an appearance of
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
So I made the note.
And you had just caught it going at 1.5 speed.
I was on this tomato, and I see Sylvester sliced alone, and I just thought, like, this informs the entire attitude of the movie, because he's in a fur coat, he's got big hair, and he's wearing giant golden aviators, and I was like, and he looks back, and
He bumps
John
into
Travolta's like,
John Travolta
and
on
he's
the
like,
street.
he's kind of like, who was that man? And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly who I was.
So he's
imagining
playing
behind
himself on the
Well,
street?
I guess
He's just walking down a busy street. John Travolta's
He's just
character
walking
bumps
here.
into him.
I'm just walking
and they
over
turn.
here.
But if you look at the poster to Staying Alive, you can tell it's a
I was
Sylvester
gonna say,
Stallone
yeah.
movie
They
straight
make
away.
John Travolta.
It's just a
It's a big
sweaty
picture of
There's-
Sylvester Stallone.
It's a sweaty man.
There's scenes at the
staring
end of this
intensely.
movie where Travolta has like his white headband thing, his long hair, he's sweaty, and he has blood on his
Soaking
face,
wet.
and it's like full Rocky.
Does he have blood on his
Rambo.
face in
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
picture? I didn't even notice that.
Well, they even include some blood at the end when his dancing partner
Yeah.
scratches him on the face, and then it's full Sylvester
Yeah,
Stallone at
it's
that
like
point.
he had that image in his head where he was like, "I'm gonna make you look cool," and
Yeah,
then,
that's what
or
we're
maybe
gonna
he
end
just
this.
was like, "Damn, Travolta looked cool in that. What if I was like that in a Vietnam movie for the whole movie?"
So the credits, we open on Travolta dancing his heart
minutes
out,
straight.
trying to get the job. He doesn't get the job, so he gets pissed off, and he goes to his first day job, which is teaching people to dance.
I can't get
Where-
past the credits though, because even just the font is worth mentioning in the opening
true.
credits. It's like
And the sound effects, the syncopation, like the words flash up on the screen in time with like stabs in the music and
yeah,
stuff like
that's
this.
probably the only time when the music and anything is synced
in
to
time.
anything.
Yeah, that's right.
in the-
Because other scenes you've got like music playing and like dance instructors going 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 2, and the music's like.
Yeah, and then they count it in. They're like, again, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's like a completely different tempo to what they were just doing. But yeah, then they go off to, it's called Fatima's Dance Land.
Oh yeah, Fatima.
Fatima's
We meet
dance
Fatima.
land.
What happened to Fatima?
yeah.
We don't see her
Yeah,
again.
well, that's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
That's
she
the
was
thing.
quite
He teaches
demanding.
He teaches a class,
Yeah.
and then he goes and works at a bar, and then he never does either of those things.
Yeah.
again.
But remember, in the bar, it's just like 3 scenes in a row of hot chicks coming up
Yeah.
to him and being like, "Hey, baby, like I want to sleep with you," and him just being like, "Go away, like I'm
What
working
sleazy
here." And they're just
women.
like they're full on just talking about his dick and stuff as he's walking.
Yeah.
It's like, "I love
like
the way you walk."
Yeah.
What did that-
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Really bad
Please
acting.
leave me alone.
What does she say? She says like, "Do you know why we ordered you to come and bring us our drinks?" And he's like, "I don't know why."
I know he goes, "Because you're an alcoholic."
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and
actually, I gotta say he is on point. Whoever's written the first act, all of his lines are razor sharp.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's hilarious, and he's everything he does is. I was like trying not to wake my wife up in bed with my laptop on my stomach, going, "Yes, yes, this guy fucking owns."
It's like the 70s Italian cool guy in a leather jacket
Yeah.
in New York. It's like so Brooklyn. I don't know if people are like that, but I could see that if he was in this movie and it was a popular character in this tomato, that people would be like, "I'm going to dress like that guy."
Yeah, right.
Even though he's like one of the worst people of all time.
He's-
Oh, yeah,
As the
he's
movie
horrible.
goes,
He's an arsehole.
he's
but
like-
he's so
piece of
funny.
shit.
But I think he's an improvement on what he was in the first movie, because in that movie he's apparently an alcoholic.
oh wow.
and,
He's probably doing pills so he
yeah.
can dance.
So this
Yeah.
is the new and improved version
So
of this character.
in these scenes, he's rejecting woman after woman. Some of them 2 at a time that are just trying to get with him, and he's just like, "I don't want anything to do with that." And you don't really know why. You're like, maybe he's a good Christian boy, maybe he's just, I don't know, gay. But then for the rest of the movie, he is like dating one girl
Yeah.
and actively trying to get with another girl, like in front of her.
That's
sometimes.
right.
Yeah.
So almost the entirety of the movie. In fact, what is probably supposed to be the main focal point of the movie is
Like a love triangle.
But it's not a love
Yeah.
triangle. It's just him literally trying to fuck two people at the same time.
Yeah.
And if he
then
could do
telling
it,
both of them that it's okay.
Yeah, just being like, I don't know what the problem is, and she's like, "Are we together?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then she walks around a corner, and then the other girl comes out,
Yeah.
and he turns around and
he
he's talking
doesn't
to her
try to
again.
hide it. He
Yeah.
doesn't care. And also,
He even
like-
has a conversation with the sweet girl about like, hey, do you reckon that girl's got a boyfriend?
Yeah, and
Like,
she's
right
like,
after he's
"Why?"
kissed
Yeah, yeah.
the sweet girl.
She goes like, "Why?" And he's like, "No reason. I'm just
just
talking. I'm just
asking."
making. We're just friends." Yeah.
Who do you think owns that limo?
So that made me
Yeah,
really
actually,
like.
that's a
Hate,
question.
that was the funniest line to me when he said that. I laughed out loud.
So for the listeners, what's happened is he's gone to an audition and or a show. No. So his friend who he works with at the at Fatima's dance factory where they teach people to dance. He has a good close friend.
Fatima's Dance Land.
Yeah, so he has a good close friend there. She's a woman. There's some sexual friction there. They obviously like to fuck, and
Each other.
yeah, but they're friends, and the relationship's never been determined, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he goes to watch her dance in a show that she's been booked for.
But she says, "Are you coming to the show?"
That's
and he's
right.
like,
And he's
no,
like,
I'm busy.
I got stuff on. And she's like, just because I'm actually in a show and you can't get one.
Yeah.
And he's like, maybe I'll come.
Yeah. So he comes and he sees the main star of this show is a woman who can, I don't know,
Really
according to him,
dance.
dance
Yeah.
really
And
well.
what is her name?
I don't know
She's
what her name
English.
is. She looks like Princess Leia.
It's
Well, do you
Fiona, Fiona.
Does anyone
Hughes.
recognize the actress?
No, other than I just thought it was her for like the first two scenes. I thought it was Princess Leia.
The character's called Laura.
Laura. Okay.
Laura.
Because Laura is played by the woman who plays, and this may not be interesting to anyone at all, but she is the mother in Charmed. She gets eaten by a water demon, and it drowns her from the inside in that show.
You're right. I'm not interested in
And
that.
I sorry?
Is she English in that show too?
She's not English in that show, which shocked me. I was like, a British woman?
So the actress's name is Finola Hughes.
Finola. I read
Finola.
Fiona, my bad.
Yeah. Now, was the character of Jackie the kind of blonde woman that he was friends with? Do you reckon she was the love interest from the first movie, or like a close
That's
friend?
what I was kind of
question.
thinking that. Yeah.
Because their relationship was confusing to me.
They
was
were, it was
bizarre.
like this
They were like, "We're
crazy
just
friendship.
friends," but then he's like calling her up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and being like, "Is there room in your bed?"
Is there a vacancy?
Yeah,
But also, no.
But then
it
he
wasn't-
didn't even go.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Is there a room in your bed?" Okay, cool.
and
See
then he
you later.
hangs the phone up in the rain. Yeah,
Basically about just like making sure that he's still got an
That's
an
right,
option.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was 5 seconds after he'd been kicked out of bed.
Yeah. So he goes to Jackie's show and basically falls in love with like the lead of the show, who's
Yes.
this British woman. And afterwards, as we're going, "Oh, he must be Jackie's boyfriend, or at least very close friend." He's hanging backstage. He's just like staring at her, and this is again a long dance sequence. It's probably 5 minutes, and I don't know what good.
Oh,
dancing
this is when
So-
he first sees her
Yeah.
dancing,
Yeah.
and it just keeps going.
It
to
just
shots
keeps
of
showing
his
his
face,
face,
and he's
and
just
he's
smiling.
smiling.
He just keeps
Yeah.
smiling,
And
she.
it does a lot of these long,
It's like the
slow
same
zoom
shot.
ins, but you also don't know where he is. I thought he was sitting in the
Yeah.
audience for a long time, and then at the end, I'm like,
Oh no,
he's
I was thinking the
somewhere
same
backstage.
thing. And then
knew
they
he was
finally,
in the
You finally
they
just
show
reveal
the-
him behind the curtain,
and you have no idea of like how big this is.
Yeah.
And then the dance finishes, and it shows a
there's
huge
yeah, like
audience.
thousands of people,
And you're like,
yeah.
so where's John?
Yeah.
What's he doing? And he's just side stage somehow.
And so she walks past him. He like stares at her, and then follows. He goes to her room backstage and just knocks on the door. And then you have one of the weirdest, like,
The best scene
Oh,
in
yeah,
the movie.
it's probably the best
I
scene in the
loved
movie,
this
yeah.
scene.
like culturally, I found that scene uncomfortable.
I loved
because
it.
he's like cool guy, charming, flirting with her. We're just like, "Hey, I just wanted to talk. I really liked what you were doing out there. You're really amazing." And she's just like, "Yeah, I know." And then he's like, "We should meet up and talk or something." And she's just like not interested at all.
When he hears her accent, he says, "Where exactly are you imported from? The vicinity of England?" and she says, "That's good."
But she's being like very rude to him as well. Like not overly rude, but
Like,
she doesn't want to be hit
understandably,
on.
He's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
broken into a dressing room.
He's just a stranger, and he's like, basically, "I want to go out with you," and she's like, not interested.
Well,
And he just
first-
keeps pushing. Like he
But
just
that's
stands
that's
there.
one of the best like trying to pick someone up scenes I've seen in a movie. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was
I really-
genuine. Like,
I
I
really
would
like
almost
that.
go out with him if he did.
The part where he gets really silly and he's like, "Oh, my friend wants to talk to you. I'll
Yeah.
go get him.
Yeah.
He's just over there." And she's like, "Okay." She knows what he's going to do. He just walks past the door, comes back as himself,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, it's me, the friend." And then she just slams the door in his face.
And then he gets real pissed.
Yeah, he gets-
and then
he
we
gets
just have a full
pissed.
turn, and all the like stagehands are like laughing at him, and he's like looking around.
He's like, must have been a draft.
Yeah, must have been a big draft in here.
Yeah, that character has a great sense of humor. Like,
Yeah.
the character
Yeah.
is
Until-
really well cast.
until
Well,
she
until he
does
opens
this.
the door again.
Yeah, and then he just opens it again, and she's sitting down again, and this is the point where you're like, we're getting into like rape territory. I don't know what's going to happen. And then he's just like, he's really angry about this
Yeah.
door thing. He's like, you could have taken my face off. And then he's in the movie Face Off later on. But she just is not interested.
Her face-off is actually the third installment in the series.
She's just not interested in him, but he like is really pushing it to the point where he's all angry at her now, and you like think he could get violent as well.
it's fucking
It's a really weird turn.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just what Stallone was like, where he's like, "This is what you do if a girl's not into you. You get real angry and you kind of scare them into it." And then she kind of ends like still don't know if she's into him or not, but he does convince her to like go out with him by the end, right?
There's a
And
lot
then-
of unanswered questions in this movie. Like, she is always hot and cold with Tony Manaro. And there's points in the first act where they're asking questions of like, where did she get the limo? Where's
Yeah.
the money?
Is she
And then
real
he ends
rich?
up in her bed and he's like, where did you get all this stuff?
Yeah, it looks like a giant like hotel suite.
Yeah, you feel like you're going to find out that
Yeah.
that's where the movie's going. But you just, she's just rich, I suppose.
Yeah, she's
I
just
don't know.
rich. She's
Well,
just
I mean, if
got
she's
grit.
if she's the lead in a show that has like 2,000 people watching, she
Yeah.
probably would make a lot of money. But then there's one point where she's with this old guy, and you're like, oh, is it like a sugar daddy kind of thing?
Yeah.
And Tony goes from the same thing of like, I really want to go out with this girl. Then he's with her, and then she goes all cold on him, and he gets like really upset, and he's like, oh, you kicking me out of the bed? I thought we had something.
And meanwhile, he's treating his like good friend like utter
Exactly
shit
the
as well.
same.
And it's
And then
like-
he'll just go to her straight away
Yeah.
and be like, yo, have I got a spare spot in your bed?
So, okay, and I might be making some jumps here, some leaps, but was her goal to give him the drive, the rage,
Yeah, I thought about this as well.
to dance?
Yeah.
Like, is that her? Because she's just playing mind games with this.
That's right, she's playing
mentally
three-dimensional chess.
fragile man. He's like, I'm getting my life together here, and
So
she's
that's how,
just,
yeah. So he comes in and says that stuff, but then the scene actually ends with her not saying I'll go out with you, but saying go to this audition for this other show I'm going to be in, like because you're saying you're a dancer, and then maybe
I'll put a
we
good
can,
word in for
I'll
you.
put a good
Yeah.
word in for you.
and he's like,
And
no,
he's too
I
proud. He's
don't, I
like,
don't, I don't
need
want
any
that.
help with
we
that.
I don't need
we
your
get
show.
we get a little bit of his like single principle that he seems to have as a character.
No one help me.
Yeah,
Like,
I
yeah.
will do everything of my own accord. I may be a complete womanizer and an arsehole to everyone in the whole world, but I will not accept a hand up. No handouts. And I wonder if that's like part of his personality in the first movie as well, because that features very briefly. And he, what did he say? He asks his friend when he eventually gets hired for this job.
Oh,
he
he
asks his friend,
specifically,
promise me that you didn't put a
Yeah.
good word in for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like him.
I think it's a good character because you get those little hints at what he is, but they don't ram it down your throat. Apart from at the end when the director when he like storms out after he tries to replace that guy
Yeah,
in
that was a weird
in
scene.
Satan's Alley,
Yeah.
which is the big.
So he ends up
That's the-
getting the job. He like books the audition,
Yeah.
and then late in the rehearsing of it, there's another guy who's the lead.
Yeah.
and
He's
So
been the,
Tony
he's
gets
been the
hired
lead
as a
the whole
backup
time.
dancer,
Yeah.
right?
He's been the lead the whole time, and
Yeah.
Tony just goes to the director. I think I could do this.
Yeah.
And he gives it a go. He fucks up one move, storms out.
Yeah, and he's
then
like
the
fully about to quit.
The director's like, "Hey, come back here, Tony. Come back here, Mr. Monero." And they have this huge chat where basically the director just dissects his entire personality
Yeah.
and what he's been going through for this movie for our benefit.
But he says all this weird stuff where he's like, "If you don't, you leave right now." Like he and then he turns as well. Like he's like, "If you leave, you lose everything," kind of thing.
Yeah,
And he's
that's
like,
right.
"I don't care, man. I don't care about nothing." And then
Just
he's
fucking
like,
try again.
Then I swear he turns and he's just like, "Just get out of here, you loser!" Like the director's like, "I'm trying to protect you, but I also don't care about you at
Yeah.
all. Like I hate you, but you should stay." But then he still is like, "Just get out of here, then." But he comes back after that, like all ramped up, and he's just like, let's run the scene again.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I guess
And he
nails
owns
it.
it.
Yeah.
Does the routine, and then you never hear or see from that guy who was the lead again.
Yeah, they're just like,
Oh,
I
that
guess
part
he's
was
fired.
so funny. Where so the director just goes like, "Do you want to sit down for a bit and we'll
Yeah.
get Tony up
The
here?" And
guy's
the guy's
like,
like,
"This is
"What do you
bullshit."
mean sit down?" He's like, "You know what I mean." And you're like, "All right, I get it." The guy's angry, but they just keep it going. He's like, "What do you mean sit down?" He's like, "For sure, you know what I mean. Get out of here!" Like, the guy just has to sit in the corner and he just loses his lead role
Yeah.
for no reason.
And that's his moment in this movie. We don't
It's
see
like
him
2
before
lines.
that or
Yeah.
after that. It could have been a really good part of the plot. But
So in between him showing up the lead, the male lead in this production and the audition, he goes out on a date with this
The British guy.
rich British
Yeah.
woman. And I don't have much to say about that other than it is another very long scene. It's like a montage of them going on a date. But
Yes.
the fucking song, it's a Bee Gees song, owns.
Yeah, it was
I have
good.
been
There's
listening
one-
to that
It was
song
good.
non-stop since Thursday night. I listened to
Yeah.
it 4 times on my ride to work the other day.
Yeah.
Just taking it back to the start.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah, so the movie probably does it, the Tomato does it about 5 times where it'll have a montage of just him walking around the streets and playing a Bee Gees song, instrumental, and it just keeps doing it, and it does it when they go on this date montage, and there's one part where they're walking through the park, and they're like holding hands, and he just pretends to be a mugger, and he grabs her thing and starts to run, and she's just like, "Oh, you."
that was good.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we get more of the affluent sort
Yeah,
of nature
she holds
of her.
up money and
That's right.
and
A
hails.
horse
Oh,
and
yeah.
cart comes past, and Tony tries to wave it down. It goes right past him. She
He
pulls
chased
She
it
just
down.
literally
Yeah.
holds up
A
like
wad of
wads
money.
of cash.
He like pulls the horse back.
So after that scene, is that when we first meet the band that
Oh, yeah.
his friend is
Fucking
in?
band.
That
So-
band. Oh.
So there's
That
2
was
scenes
weird.
where Jackie is singing a song in a club.
Jackie,
The first time we see it, just before the guitar solo, she notices Tony in the audience and just leaves the stage.
Yeah, and he's like, come here.
Goes-
She's like, all right.
She goes through the audience.
That's right.
Yeah,
Halfway
yeah.
through the song, she's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, my friend's here. I'm just leaving.
Which
this-
is like, just
yeah.
imagine you're watching a performance
Yeah.
and the lead singer just goes, "Oh, hi,"
Yeah.
and then just runs through the
And just
audience.
talks to a guy in
you
the
turn
corner.
around and keep watching it like you wouldn't be watching the stage. But that song is really good.
yeah,
and,
that owned.
and the rhythm guitarist who and there's a good
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a good
the-
quote about
my
the rhythm
second
guitarist
favorite
later on.
quote was
Yeah.
about rhythm guitarist.
I can't remember this.
But the rhythm guitarist is played by Frank Stallone.
That's Frank.
Oh, that is
Slide
pretty.
from it,
Yeah.
Wrote 4 songs on this.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he has.
Yeah.
He has a music
In-
career. He
So
was-
when I watched the end of that credits, it just was like Bee Gees song,
Yeah.
like 5-6 times, and then it was just all Frank Stallone songs.
Frank Stallone, and he plays the rhythm guitarist who goes with
And he shreds
Jackie.
a solo as well.
Yeah.
Like, is that really how he can play?
Yeah.
The
yeah,
boy
that's,
can play.
that's all
Good.
Frank.
And he wrote
Very
those
good.
songs. Those songs, I really liked all the non-Bee Gees songs in this movie. I pretty much liked, except for the one that they're rehearsing for Satan's Alley, which is just like this weird ascending bass,
Yeah.
and this guy's going dance, like literally saying the word that the whole movie is about.
So
Just
the dance scenes in this, of which again there's probably 5 like long
4 minute at
4
least.
minute breaks with no talking and just like a stage production dance, which looked pretty good.
Some of
Again,
them were really good.
I was expecting a 0% movie. I was like, this is going to be trash, but I'm like, they've put a lot of money into the staging and the
Closing
design
number
and
was
everything.
good,
Yeah.
right? And John Travolta can fucking dance.
Oh,
Of
dude,
course.
yeah.
just
Yeah.
his body in this movie
it's
is
insane.
crazy.
He,
He's
um,
He's
so
got 0% body fat. He's
just like
constantly sweating.
athletic,
Yeah.
strong.
He trained with Sylvester Stallone for months before this and lost 20 pounds to get a dancer's physique. Because Sylvester Stallone's like real into personal training and like
Yeah.
getting particular body types. So
Yeah, he's been arrested multiple times for
Steroids and
trafficking
stuff.
steroids.
Wow.
So you would assume that he's fucking ripped. I did want to take it back to the band scene because right after she leaves, right after singing, she spots Tony in the crowd. She gets down and it pans over to Frank Stallone and he's tearing it up.
He's
but he's
singing
got
now,
this
isn't he?
intense stare just staring at her.
Yeah.
And Tony, Tony does
Yeah.
not like the
He's
way
not
he's
into
looking at
it.
her. He's like, I don't like the way he's looking at you. Why can't he be looking at me, Tony?
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
It's,
And it's just being protective over someone
That
like
you're treating
that-
like shit all the
It's
time
just-
and not going out with. Is
because
so
that,
funny.
at that point in the movie, I still had no idea what their relationship
Yeah.
I don't
was.
think
So
I
was
don't
like,
think you get any clarity. But by the end, I was just like, well, at the end, spoiler alert. At the end of the movie, like they
Spoilers.
kind of like they kiss, and it's sort of signaled that it's Tony and what's her name? The friend.
Jackie.
It's Tony and Jackie sort of
But
kind
the
of...
kiss that he gives her is more of like he kisses her and then he just grins at her.
Yeah.
She walks away and then just looks in the mirror.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the thing that sums him up, is that he's just like, he's gotten the gratification he needs from her.
Yes.
But now it's about himself.
Yeah.
It's always
And
been
you
I
know-
about
found him
Tony.
such a hard character to, sympathize with, because just the way he was treating these women. Like, I guess you're allowed to go out with whoever you want, but just make your mind up and not
It's
just like
like-
play both and just see what rolls out.
It's
I-
like it was
I-
written and trying to... Like, his character is... They attempt to justify his behavior by making the other woman, the professional dancer, like an asshole to him.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like... Yeah, he can treat them like shit because she treats him like shit. It doesn't really work like that.
She even says a couple of times, Laura, the British chick, says to him a couple of times, like, "Oh, so it's all right for you to go around and fuck
with
whoever you want,
yeah.
but then when the woman's on the other foot, you can't do the same thing." to them."
Uncanny impression.
No, that's it.
Now,
But,
what was the quote when Jackie is like talking about he's like, "You guys were looking close up there," and she's like, "Oh, he's the rhythm guitarist."
It might
and we're
be
getting
a
close."
different, because I'm thinking of when we get a nice 4-minute slow motion montage of them dancing in a dance studio. The rhythm guitarist drops Jackie off and then says like bye, and he's like, "I didn't like the way you said goodbye to him."
Yeah.
And he says, "Everybody in the world knows you can't trust a guy who plays rhythm guitar."
Yeah, that's the thing. And he's like dead serious, but I guess he's just kind of being like jokingly jealous. But
Yeah.
but he's really like, yeah, you're getting too close to him. And yeah, he says that line about rhythm guitar, and Alex was watching it with me at that point. And it's just like, you play rhythm guitar.
It's hard to tell whether that was. I think that was built into the character to just have like a weird sense of humor.
By the end, like they had this big dance scene where I guess big kind of character moments happened, and
Well, I think that was probably the most engaging dance scene. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
was
when you
good.
could actually connect.
he literally
to...
threw her like under part of the stage or something, like off in a corner.
Yeah.
He was just
Took a
spinning her
solo.
around. She's like, "What are you
she's
doing?"
She's like, "Let me go," and he's just like, "Fucking get under there."
So-
and
What
then
do you mean? There's no solo in this
yeah,
bit.
yeah, the
That's
director's
right.
like,
So he's out there dancing.
Yeah, the
he's
director
giving-
who's up in the light box controlling all the lights and
for some
Yeah.
reason.
yeah. He's just like, "I didn't say you could have a solo."
Like he's not planned any of it. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, now bring up the lights. All right, I want a spotlight. It's like,
they had
you
some
rehearsed
cool,
doing the
yeah.
spotlight?
It was like the lighting and the staging was cool though, and
Yeah,
like
it worked.
the dancing.
No, it was great.
And then at the end, he like does his little solo, which was not very. It was like 5 seconds where he was just like on the edge of the stage, basically. Then he goes back, gets her, and just like holds her up one handed,
Yeah,
and his arms are like
insane,
shaking, but his
insane.
muscles are bulging.
There's one moment where the dancers emerge from this smoke,
Yeah.
like the dry ice, and
Yeah.
you don't know that they're there. It's
Yeah.
like a foot deep of this dry ice, and they just all pop
All
up
their
like
hands
zombies. It
come
was
up.
really
Yeah, it
good.
was cool.
It was really effective.
So like this is like the finale, right? So that's why I'm saying like the first act and the third act, I know what's happening. The second act is just like literally I have amnesia. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
suddenly we're actually at the production. It's the opening night. He's got the lead role. He's out there, and it's him and this woman. I'm so bad with their names. I'm sorry. Laura, the English woman who's rich and she's an asshole to him all the time. It's them face to face, and there's like all this tension because they sort of like each other but hate each other.
Yeah.
They're dancing, and he's had enough of her shit. Oh no, this is what happens. Okay, so the first part of the dance happens, and he does this fantastic dancing with her, and then he leans her over and he goes in for a kiss and kisses her.
Yeah.
And she freaks out and she's like, "What the fuck?" And she slaps him in the face / scratches him, and he starts bleeding. And so he walks off stage and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean nothing." And she's like, I know, she gets really incensed, and she tells him, "You don't have it."
Yeah, that's
which is
right.
something that she
Yeah.
did
She
say.
gets in his face and goes, "You don't have it."
Trying to break his confidence. And we already know that he's not feeling too confident because
Yeah.
he's gone from rags to riches. He's gone straight to the number one spot, and he was concerned about it before the show began.
And she previously had told him that he
did have
it.
it.
I think that's a bit of a jumbled timeline. I think what happens is she scratches him. They go off stage. She's still angry at him. He talks to Jackie. Jackie's like, "Why
That's
did you
right,
kiss
she's
her?"
there. Yeah.
Then he goes back on stage, dances in such a way that impresses Laura.
Right.
And then they go back off stage again,
Another time.
and in that time that he's impressed her with his dance, she's changed her mind.
Right.
So then she's like, you know what? We should meet up after the show. He's like, I got commitments. And she's
Oh, you're right. Yes,
and
that's
then,
right.
And then she goes, you don't have it.
Yeah.
In
She
response,
gets upset because all of a sudden she's about to change her ways because you danced well.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
like, you know
yeah.
what? I think I'll marry you and be completely faithful to you forever. And he's like, I don't wanna. And then so yeah, you're right. She hits him with the most painful thing. He can take a little blood, he can take a little scratch, but when he gets told that he doesn't have it,
Do you reckon that's a
yes.
throwback
And
to the original one? Do you reckon there's some point where someone's
Possibly.
like, you don't have it?
But his response to
Yeah,
Because
that,
it would be
wonder.
more powerful.
his response to that is when they get on stage next, he's like, I'm just going to swing you around and
essentially
throw you. I'm going to
throws her
throw
out of
you
the
as
way.
far as I can so I can do a solo.
That's right. So he
And-
throws her off the stage so that he can take the limelight, and the director's up in the box going like,
Not like
what?
into the audience, but he just throws her like to the side of the stage or
Yeah.
like under some of
As
the
far as he can throw
staging.
her.
Yeah.
Well, this is my problem with most dance scenes in most movies, is that there's always reaction shots of people in there. And there had been throughout the thing. But it was almost like that they were reacting to things in the show that they were all in.
Yeah.
And it didn't really
Satan's
make sense
Alley.
up until that point where people are starting to go, well, this is all out of whack. And Tony's mother is probably the most engaged.
Yeah,
in
there
the-
was
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
people
so
in the
there's-
audience, and the mother came to watch again.
Yeah, so it shows a shot of the mother, and she's got like tears in her eyes,
Yeah.
and she just goes like, "Where did he
Where
learn
did he learn
to
to
do
do
that?"
Yeah, that was so. I'm like,
he's a dance instructor.
Yeah.
Like, do you
No.
know nothing about your son?
I mean,
There's
I
been
get
two
that angle.
movies of this.
I
What do you
get-
think he's been doing?
I get what you guys are saying, but I just thought that was a really sweet moment because that I don't know. As if you were the mother of that guy, you'd be like,
Yeah.
"This is the first time I've seen him dance. This is crazy. How did he learn to do this?" It was really nice. I
Oh,
thought.
okay.
They do really make that moment where he's thrown her and he does his solo and he's on the podium and she's just frozen in shock. Like,
That's right.
"Hey,
She
dude,
can't
this-"
believe that one, he would throw her,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
two,
which
that
was
like
fair.
he's ostensibly thrown her under the bus, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sort of like, I'm taking the star of the show, I'm throwing her off the stage literally, so that I can
still
become
gonna
the star.
rock it.
I'm going to be the star of the show now. And she's like, I can't believe you'd do that. And so then, yeah, you're right. A podium comes up,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
where the finale is, and it
Yeah.
starts rising out of the stage, and he gets up on it for the big final thing. And he turns to her and he says, come on, you've got to get up here. And she's like, I can't. It's because it's rising too high.
Yeah, yeah.
She doesn't think she can jump up onto it. So this is like the big finale closer.
And he's like, "You gotta jump." And
Yeah,
then there's
yeah.
like, does Jackie also?
Yeah, Jackie chimes
Jackie's
in.
like, "You gotta jump." And then the director,
I think the
at
director,
end is like,
yeah.
"You gotta jump." And she like leaps.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he,
She
like,
just makes it.
picks her up, and then like with one hand,
Well, he
my
takes
God.
her with
Forces
both
her
and
in
then
the
drops
air.
one, and he's just like holding her.
triumphantly. And actually, he does. He shakes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like,
it's crazy.
I mean, it's a lot of weight to
Yeah,
just
and
how
it's
with
like-
one hand. Yeah.
I don't know. I felt
It was a big
weird
finale.
because it was so goofy, but it felt powerful.
Yeah.
I was.
So do we know, was John Travolta a dancer before he was an actor, or like did he learn to
must have been
dance for
part
these
of it.
roles or something? Because he's fucking good.
He
Yeah, I
dances
don't
in
know.
Greece
He's
and
so
he
good in
dances in
Greece.
Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah,
he
that's
he
true.
must have been like one of the dance trained or something.
Dance boy, we
But
call him in the
You
industry.
can't imagine him doing it now, right?
No,
Old Travolta.
I love Travolta.
Yeah.
I'll watch him in anything, even today.
But old hogs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
Wild
want to
Dogs.
watch that.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
really
is that
wanna
on the
watch
list?
We'll put it on
I
the
hope
list.
it is.
Nah,
I know
that-
that on the list may be The Fanatic, which is
Mm.
his most recent venture. I think it is a 0%.
Oh,
He's also
is that the Fred
directed by
Durst one?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we gotta
of
watch
Limp
that.
Bizkit fame.
Yeah.
That's
We
awesome.
saw it. It has 22% though or something.
It's a shame.
But we do know Travolta is in Gotti, which is on the list.
That's
So
towards
there's
the
at
end of the
least
list.
there's at
What I
least
like
3
about this
films
list
that
is
Travolta
John
did.
Travolta opens the list, almost closes the list, and in the middle we've got Look Who's Talking.
Yeah.
Now.
So he's just got that
He's
like
ever present.
he's been in everything from full cultural milestone films
Yeah.
that people still watch like 40 years later. And then he has a drop off, and then he comes back in the 90s, and he's on everything. And now he's still just like leading films and things. Like
He's good in the OJ thing.
Yeah.
I love him in
Yeah.
that.
he's pretty crazy in that though.
Just one other thing I wanted to say about this movie is back when the concept of Satan's Alley is introduced to us, it's through the director.
And he
during-
goes really
during-
into detail about
during
like
a
the
rehearsal.
story.
Yeah. He says, "All right, stop everything.
And this is like
For
the most
those
he's
who
said at
forgot,
this point as well.
the show is called Satan's Alley. it's a trip from hell to heaven. And he explains the
Yeah,
whole
he
thing
goes
so
through
that,
this whole
we're,
thing.
so that we're
Yeah.
clued in.
Where I was like, oh, like, is this meant to tie in with the theme of the film or the theme of the character's arc or something? And yeah, he just goes deep in, because they have not said the name of it at that point,
Yeah.
like what the performance is. And he just goes in, you start in hell, and there's an ascent to heaven and a big finale, and you're like, okay, I know where this is going.
But the way that he delivers the line it just sounds informative. Like he's just informing the cast and crew, just like, for those who forgot, the show is called Satan's Alley. He's not doing it in a way like, for those who forgot, you know what I mean? Like, he's
not trying
just,
to reinstill.
he's
like,
just
"No,
saying
just
it."
in case you did forget.
yeah, he's like, legitimately, we've been working on this for months now, but I just want you guys to realize this show is called this. And it's like, well, it's obviously for our benefit, but
Yeah.
it seems like he's doing it for their benefit, which is
There was
ridiculous.
also a scene I wanted to talk about, which is Jackie's performing, I guess, the second time, and Tony
Yeah.
comes in, and she like cries and does this song, just like a sad song
Yeah.
about him, and it does the same thing. It just keeps like
I
zooming
actually
into
think
his
it's the
face.
same song that she performs the first time we see her.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think so. It's the same song. She leaves the stage the first time, and the second time she cries, but it's the same song, and they play it almost in full both times.
Yeah, it's definitely long, and you're like, I get the point. And it's just like close up of her face singing, tears slowly rolling down the cheeks, and yeah, just slow zoom in to Travolta's face in like long close ups of him watching her play this song, where she's obviously upset about him.
Yeah, I love these movies where you get to hear songs multiple times, like the same.
So
The song,
many
the
times.
song that opened the movie it closed the rehearsal period of Satan's Alley. And that's when I thought, like, oh, the movie's over. But then, of course, we got the last part where we get to see Satan's Alley. So that song happens twice. There's 3 or 4 Bee Gees songs that play, but that song where they're rehearsing and it's just a guy going, dance, that plays like
For 10 minutes.
Total,
Yeah.
over the space of 40 minutes. We hear that song at least 4 or 5 times. I'm pretty sure.
Now, what do we think about the very ending? So obviously he holds her up. He's like wins the
He
best
wins.
dance
He's the best
competition.
dancer, man.
He's got
They're
the
celebrating
acclaim.
backstage. Everybody's
Yeah,
having drinks.
everyone's celebrating, and then
Oh,
he just
yeah.
like leaves, right?
Yeah,
Well,
no,
yeah,
no,
'cause they're like,
no.
How do you feel? And he's like,
says-
I feel good.
He says, I've got to leave now. And she goes, don't you want a drink? He's like, he says something to the effect of, you know what? I just got to strut. Which
Yeah.
is exactly what he says at the beginning of the first movie.
Oh,
And then
okay.
he walks away and Staying Alive
plays
plays.
Staying Alive, and it's just him like walking across the road in New York.
And different shots of like
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
butt wiggling.
Yeah,
And
he's got a
then,
wiggling
and then
butt.
it does a freeze frame
Yeah.
as he passes the camera.
It's him in front of Times
and
Square.
stops, and then he fades away,
Yeah.
and the background
Times
is
Square
still
does
there.
not.
But
Yeah.
did he ever exist?
He was a ghost
like,
all
is
along.
he dead now? Is that what it's like? That was the last important
That
thing
was
of his
probably
life?
it. He was probably a ghost
a
the whole
ghost.
time. If you watch closely, nobody's
Yeah.
actually talking to him the whole
If
It's a
time.
he
mixture
dies
of
at the
Dirty
end of
Dancing and
Saturday Night
Ghost.
Fever.
Yeah,
and
true.
This is the fever. This is,
yeah.
this is
Oh,
just
yeah.
the
It was all a
dream.
fever dream.
Because Satan's Alley is about his ascension to heaven.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a really good movie in here. And they just didn't
Yeah,
fulfill it,
I
right?
can
Like,
see that.
Make it.
yeah. Well, I
I
mean, like
also
some of the still have Travolta. You still have like some of the great dialogue because there's some great dialogue in here.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like make it a bit clearer about who you were.
There's a
meant
lot
to
of eye
like.
candy for women as well.
That's
I feel
true.
like
Yeah.
Alex just kept going, he
Yeah.
is so hot in this movie. I'm like, really? I mean, he does have like a giant bulge in his crotch.
And
in
he's
some-
always
in some
sweating.
scenes.
and he's always like,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a singlet, and his like
Yeah.
muscles are coming out and stuff. So I totally see that, but I'm like, who is this movie for?
Yeah.
Because of women watching this and being like, yeah, he would have 2 women and just not be able to pick which one. But that didn't jive with what he did at the beginning, which was just reject woman after woman who
Yeah.
like wanted to sleep with him.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not a ladies' man. I'm not like that. But I just want to be with these 2 women, kind of. And if one of them says no, then I'll go to the other one. But
Yeah, that doesn't work with what I assume happens in the first film. Because, like, he's probably a womanizer in the first film as well, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a romantic, like, storyline in that. So, like, I wonder whether in the first film... Sorry, Tomato. I just keep saying.
yeah.
In the first Tomato, maybe he's, like... He's an alcoholic, he's a womanizer, but he finally gets over all of that and starts treating this one woman good, and they end up together.
Yeah.
Why are we now retreading old ground in the second film? He's doing the same thing. He's learning the same lessons. I don't know.
I also feel like his character is very Danny Zuko in Grease. where
Yeah.
They're almost interchangeable.
Yeah.
Because he's got that same like arrogance and people telling him what to do and like, I don't listen to nobody. And, you know, if he had any male friends in this movie, which he does not, they would be like, yo, Danny, did she put up a fight? And he'd be like, yeah.
When was Grace?
Yeah, I don't know.
78?
Street,
I would
78.
say.
So
Like-
it would be
Oh, it's
then
before.
post Saturday Night
I reckon it was
Fever,
right after Saturday Night Fever.
pre
but-
Staying Alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the
Yeah.
key element that we're missing, because in Saturday Night Fever he would have been, he would have been sort of a troubled man, and then Grease, well, that's Danny
Yeah.
Zuko.
He's like
pure
a
trouble.
cartoon version.
And now he's got the leather jacket in
Yeah,
Staying Alive,
true.
definitely.
Still says
Yeah.
T-Birds on the back.
Yeah, exactly. There's
He just didn't have a
little bit
comb or any like
Yeah,
hair
exactly.
gel in this movie, but he was using it off camera.
So I heard you guys talking about his like handsomeness in this. I kept thinking when I was watching, he is aggressively handsome.
Yeah.
Like
He has-
his face.
He has this
is,
eyeliner on.
It's a
in the
little
whole
bit
movie
much.
as well.
Like
Like, he's-
sometimes I'm thinking, oh yeah, I understand the whole Travolta thing, but then I'm also like, his eyebrows are so sharp, and like
Yeah.
he's got this dimple in his chin
Yeah.
that's like looks like somebody took a pickaxe and like
Yeah.
smacked him in the chin with it.
It's too much.
And they do so many just like extreme close-ups of just his mouth to his forehead,
his lips
it's just his
stick
eyes
out and
staring
stuff.
at things
Yeah.
in this movie.
It's just weird. And now that he's aged and tried to like keep it all together, he just looks
Yeah.
ridiculous these
Oh,
days.
it's sad.
And also, yeah, just like who was this movie made for? I was thinking like, there's not many things that I've seen in my life that have been purely dance related. I was thinking more like, who would go and see Satan's Alley? Like
Yeah.
Well, it's a packed
the play
house.
within that. I know, yeah, it is.
Tuxedos.
Big theater, yeah.
This
Well,
is
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to mention about
It's a Broadway show, right? Like they say
when
that.
he's invited to see the rehearsal of this girl, and he's standing side stage, and we get a glimpse of how huge the audience is. Right after that shot, we also see these old men wearing tuxedos, holding trombones, and like the music before that was there was
pop.
there was no live instrumentation. But who was Satan's Alley made for? Like I've only seen Lord of the Dance and Riverdance when I was very young, because our dad used to love those two things.
Right.
And that's purely just
And that was
dance.
live.
That's a dance. That's Irish dancing turned
Right,
into a
right.
story. There's no dialogue, and I used to watch that and just think, this sucks. This is so boring. It's just dancing. How can you express story that
Yeah.
way?
I mean, there is a scene. Like contemporary dance has its scene, and I think they did a good job of like the socialites with their tuxedos and lots of money and affluent people going to watch the dancing is a thing. I think, yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
But to me, it's like,
But is it full dance? There's no dialogue or like
Yeah,
play
Yeah.
scenes or anything?
like the ballet or whatever.
Yeah.
The bear in the car.
I mean, I know that I went to go see Tap Dogs.
Oh
Anyone
yeah.
familiar with
Now you're
Tap
speaking
Dogs?
of my language.
Yeah. You got tap dancing.
And stomp.
They're stomping in some water, and I thought, all right. And my mum told me, she's like, we paid $70 a ticket. Do not tell your stepfather. And I went, okay. But I was like, I don't know why I have to be here.
But also, this fucking sucks.
But 90 minutes later, there's like, they're tap dancing up walls, they're tap dancing on
You're like, yeah, they're going
Building
like,
equipment.
they're
yes.
mopping and they're
It's
dancing.
insane. It's crazy. So I can understand the culture, the experience.
Yeah. What's the name of the stupid thing called again?
Satan's Alley.
Satan's Alley.
It's so gross.
Yeah, that's what they call the anus.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think of. Satan's Alley. It's gross. It's grotesque. I
But
don't
it's
want to think
him
about
trying to
assholes.
get out of hell, and she's the devil trying to keep. Oh yeah, because he ascends at the
He
end.
ascends
He's
at the
going
end,
back,
so
but
he
he
must-
brings the devil with him.
Oh.
He holds the devil above his head and takes her
Why?
out.
And
of
it ends
hell.
when it's just getting interesting.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh my
That's
God.
as much as I can. So he goes to hell and he saves the devil and takes her up to hell.
Yeah, but he
That's
holds
it.
her up above his head for some reason. He should
And I
toss
guess
her
that's-
straight
that's
back
what
down,
he-
right?
That's
So
really,
maybe he was meant to throw her away.
there was.
Just a bit later.
Yeah.
I also thought maybe she was method acting through the whole movie and just being the devil the whole time
Oh yeah.
because she was the
okay.
devil, or maybe it just happened to be that they were perfectly suited for those characters in Satan's Alley.
There was definitely a minute. I think either Mitch or Declan said this before, where like I started to think, oh, she is in real life fucking with him, so that he gives a good performance, and then at the end she'll like say, "I taught you how to dance,"
Yeah.
and then they'll fuck.
But she doesn't get that. I really wanted there to be a moment where she was like, and that's how you
Yeah.
dance.
They don't really have any sort
Freeze
of.
frame.
They don't have a
And
moment
she
at the end, do
disappears.
they? Like they don't. After the show finishes, they don't have a moment.
No.
Yeah.
No, well,
No.
he kisses Jackie,
Yeah.
and then looks at Laura while he's kissing Jackie,
Oh,
and then he
that's always
says,
a classic.
"I've got a strut."
Yeah.
So I don't know if the character develops at all. There's really
Yeah,
no
well, that's right.
answer. Did he
The
develop?
movie could end, and then like the next day he could be just like fucking with both of them again.
Yeah.
and, like still
Yeah.
an asshole. He's not.
Well,
learned
even in
any
that shot
lesson.
where he walks away right at the end in Times Square, he's just walking and strutting. And then, to no one in particular, he gives this cheeky little grin, and then it freeze frames. But what is he grinning
I
about?
don't know.
And why does he disapparate?
That's what.
Yeah.
That's the biggest question.
Yeah.
That's gonna haunt me.
So there's no other sequels. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Maybe there are.
Nah,
Do you
Maybe
make a
there-
sequel
Well, 'cause
after you get a
strutting
0% on Rotten Tomatoes? I don't know.
we should probably.
I would make a sequel now.
Yeah,
That would
just
probably
him-
just
be
him as
the
a
time.
50
That would be
year-old
very
man.
like The Irishman, I feel like.
Yeah.
Old,
But-
sad guy.
But he's still working in that studio.
I would have liked to have seen more of him in the bartending.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was great.
Oh, me too.
And actually, what that reminded me of is, I wish it was on the list, is Cocktail. Me and
yeah.
some friends sat down to watch Cocktail.
No, I haven't seen that.
Is that on the
Is
list?
he in that?
It's not on the list.
Okay.
Oh no, Tom
Travolta?
Cruise is in
Oh,
it.
it's Cruise,
That's
yeah.
And,
great.
um,
and Brian Brown. is
Yeah,
in the
that's
movie.
right.
Yeah.
Also, like a movie where like I just wanted to see Tom Cruise like getting better at making cocktails and doing cocktail tricks and like awesome bar scenes, and you get some of that in the first act, and then like it turns into this horrendous love story. It's like, get back to making
Yeah,
cocktails.
you're like, you were getting so good.
Yeah, go
mixing
give
those
some more
drinks.
sass to the guys in the bar. And like, there's this fantastic scene where like, Addicted to Love is playing in the bar. And he's like dancing around, shaking cocktails, and he's like also like riding the volume knob of the stereos. He's like, might as well face it. And he turns it down. You're addicted to love, and everyone
Oh,
in the bar
crowd
like
sings
sings along. And he's like jumping between cocktail shaking and the volume knob back and forth. Oh man,
That's how you get
should make a
tips.
whole movie of that.
I like Travolta in the bar, carrying drinks on a tray, walking through a crowded...
Oh, he spills them on everyone, doesn't
He's
he?
walking through a crowd of people who are dancing, and they bump into him, and he drops the drinks, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
It's like you just walked through them. You could have walked around.
He's like on one foot, like hopping through the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a real point where I gotta ask, like, do you find Tony to be a likable guy?
Yes,
Not
do.
for me.
100%
I
do,
actually-
yeah.
Because at first I was
I think
like,
he's
oh,
hilarious.
he's like a monster.
He is a
But by
monster.
the end of it, I was really on board.
Yeah, right.
I don't like him at all. He's so insecure
He's an arsehole. Yeah,
and an
Yeah.
asshole. And
he's all these
The
things.
character is 24 years old.
oh wow,
That's one thing to consider.
Okay.
in this one.
Yeah. In the original, he's 19.
jeez.
Right.
It's crazy.
Wait, so
Okay.
he's had like 5 years since the original to not be a success, and he's
I
like,
guess that's a 24-year-old attitude. I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. He's arrogant, he sucks, but I don't think there's anything that's too malicious about him. Like, obviously he needs to treat the women in this movie with more respect, but
And he has our principal. We mustn't forget.
yeah,
Single
he
principal.
I don't want
He doesn't
any help
want
from
handouts.
anyone.
won't
Oh.
be told what to do.
What about the scene where he's waiting for his phone call? See, like scenes like that where he's,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
funny
Right,
and silly.
Yeah, that was
like
funny.
Any calls? No? It's an inside joke.
Yeah,
that was really
that
good.
was-
That
such
was-
a weird
yeah,
thing
that
to
was
do.
No,
great.
that was great.
Great.
So he normally, when he
Says-
walks
he says
into
that
his
to
like
his-
shitty apartment,
Yeah.
he says to the door guy or whatever,
And he
and he
messages.
calls, and the guy's always like, no.
Because he's expecting to get like
Yeah.
a job booking. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And then he
Oh,
goes-
we forgot about the montage scene where he just goes into casting directors' offices 5 in a row, and they just like shake their head, or they're just on the phone like ignoring.
And again, he has a really great joke. He's like, "I'll do anything as long as it's not nude. My mom doesn't want me
hates
to do
nude,
anything
yeah.
nude. I guess she's scared I'm going to catch a cold."
Yeah, that was really funny. That was really- But he's just talking for 30 seconds, and the guy's just like shaking his head and saying nothing,
Yeah.
and none of the casting people say anything. They're just like, no. But you're like, he's so handsome. He's saying he can dance. Like, you'd think they'd be like, oh, we'll try something. I
Oh,
could put you
you
up for this. But
haven't-
they're just like, nah.
You don't have experience in the cold hard world of
Getting a role.
showbiz, man. What is the joke? So he keeps every time he goes back to his apartment, he asks
And he
the
calls,
guy at
Any
the
right.
messages,
And the
yeah.
guy says no. And then at one point, he's like backstage at his own show or something. He's in a totally
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
setting.
But there's
and
a
he
guy
just
wearing
says to like a,
headphones.
yes,
There's a
like a
stagehand
stagehand wearing like the comms
yeah.
side stage next to a curtain. He just goes, any calls? Huh, it's an inside joke.
And it is.
It's,
Just
it's literally
his joke.
it's inside his brain. Yeah.
There's no
I
way anyone
love
could
that.
enjoy that. It's like just something you say to someone else.
That's
that
the
has
kind of
no
thing that I would
shared
say
context.
to
Yeah.
someone and just be like, "Oh God!" What did
So
I
then
just
he's
say that?"
waiting at like the lobby of his place, which looks almost like a laundromat foyer or something.
Yeah, right.
When he's waiting for this call, And then the phone rings, and he like, there's like 6 other random. It keeps showing them. There's like these 2 twins or like a fat old guy, whatever. It's like showing all these people there, and then this phone rings, and he runs up, and he's like, "Nobody else touch that phone. Like that's for me or something." And then he finally gets the job.
That's how he finds out
Yeah.
that he gets booked in Devil's
Satan's
fucking
alley.
butthole. Yeah.
So, look, what do you guys think? What you got a favorite scene? You got a favorite quote? Favorite musical moment in this movie?
2 quotes for me were the one about like everyone in the world knows not to trust a rhythm guitarist.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And
that's
and
up
just
there.
the one where he's like, "Does anyone know whose limo this is?" Those 2 like actually
Yeah.
cracked me up.
He just seems like he's like 6 years old.
Yeah.
I've already said my favorite scenes are the scene where he goes up to the Laura's dressing room and tries to pick her up,
Yeah.
and favorite line is definitely that. I'd forgotten about that fantastic line where he asks the guy if he has any messages. It's still funny to me.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That's
Yeah.
such an aside. Like it comes out of nowhere. It's been like an hour since he did that. And
Yeah.
it's to a total stranger. Like
That was great.
Hey, just seeing if there's a vacancy in your bed. Well, yeah. And he's like, okay, all right. And then he just doesn't go
Yeah.
over.
I don't even think he really says goodbye either. He just says like, "Okay, cool," and like slams the phone down. And it's 3 a.m. It's like
raining.
a horrible
It's
time to
pissing down
call it.
rain.
What are
Yeah.
you doing up so late?
Yeah. And he did it only because he was with the English girl, and she's like, "All right, now that we've had sex, like, can you get out?"
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
like, "What? You kicking me out? Oh, that's normally what I do to chicks. Oh,
I've never
where
been
do I
kicked out
go?"
before.
And she's like, "Not my problem. Get out of here."
So there's the first time that you hear that song that goes "Dance," which I just love. I think that's the funniest thing about it. It's a very
So it was like duh, 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 duh.
yeah.
No, I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot.
It's one of those. It's like a synth bass song. It's like
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
dance, and then like in between when it's not dance, it's like like he's just
Yeah.
making noise.
Fire.
But then there's like a 2 or 3 minute montage of people dancing, and you're enjoying that. And then just out of nowhere, it just shows the director's face, and the whole rest of the movie, this director is surly as, but he's just smiling. And he just goes, "Yes." that's my.
I gotta
favorite
say, I
movie.
like the little.
In the whole
You get a
tomato.
little bit of the character of the director in the last, like, I don't know, 30 minutes. I liked him. It was an interesting character. Well, he wasn't interesting. You knew nothing about him except that he really wanted this show to be good.
Yeah.
Like, and that was fun.
Now, as for whether this truly is a Rotten Tomato, what do we think?
I really don't think this is truly rotten at all.
No.
I gotta
think
give
it's
this
ripe.
one. I'd give this one a rotten. It was so slow. And
Well,
like,
do you want to give it a score out of 10? You can
probably
use
like
decimals.
a 4 or something. Yeah, like it's watchable. I wasn't like my eyes were bleeding or anything, and I could get through the end. And I like a movie that's not over 100 minutes as well.
4 out of 10. That's a mildly Rotten Tomato.
Yeah.
Not truly rotten.
It's not like a 0 out of 10.
No.
I really would keep that for just something that is like you can't even finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6.8.
That's pretty
I liked.
That's
I
genuinely high praise.
well, like I turn movies off generally if I don't like them.
Yeah.
I can't make.
Would
I
you have
can't make
watched
it through a
it
lot of movies.
if it just came on, if you had it on Netflix or whatever, and you weren't watching it for this podcast?
I-
Would you have
if-
actually
No,
finished
no,
it?
no. But, well, if it was being played on free to air and like I just didn't know what I was doing that evening and I had the evening free and it was on, yeah, I'd watch as much as I could. Except like ad breaks make it hard to actually see these things through. Like there was a movie that came on the other night that I wish I had watched, but I got caught up in a phone call. I can't remember the name of it. And I wish I'd watched that whole thing. It's a really bad story. So.
I'd probably give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's not a truly Rotten Tomato. I think what I'm using as the comparison, like a truly Rotten Tomato for me, is the movie Pauly Shore is Dead.
Oh,
But
I remember that.
Because I tried to watch that, but literally had to watch it in 10-minute increments. I still haven't finished it, but I'm really enjoying the horrible process of watching it. That is a truly Rotten Tomato. That's a 0 out of 10. This movie, I don't know what I just said, but something like 4 or 5 for me.
You said 5.5.
Five,
So
five.
in 10 seconds, you've like taken quite a few points off.
5.5. But look, the acting is really good. And like when I say that Pauly Shore is Dead is a 0%, I mean because like some of the shots just don't like cinematography wise, they just don't match up. It's like watching 4 different movies. You know those movies where like the color grading's different from here to there. This movie didn't have any of those technical issues. So
No,
already that's an achievement. Like to be able to make a movie like that you don't notice things like that or booms or like audio problems. Although there were a couple times where I'm pretty sure they had to do ADR for the voices on the street and then put the street sounds over because I'm assuming the street noises were too loud. But like technically and acting wise and costume wise and set design and music wise, like all the elements there were fine. It just wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that.
I think some of the dialogue was really good.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Sometimes though, those moments
not much
that
story.
would make me laugh, or I'd think that was a good moment. I don't know if I'm doing it in the ironic way where I'm like, do they know that that's meant to be the way I'm taking it? You know,
Right.
Or
and I
is
think
it
this
so
is one
bad
of those
that-
movies that they often don't. They don't. But I think that's part of making it a movie that is built around dancing, because dancing is silly.
It's dumb.
It's a silly thing to do. I respect a dancer. You know, the
I
dancer's
find
body.
things
They
like
put a lot of work into
dancing,
it. Choreography.
circuses, those kind of things where it's like pushing human feats and the athleticism involved and the timing and all the training.
Amazing.
It's really cool for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, but I can't sit there for an hour and a half and watch a dance show.
I liked that when the credits rolled, or like the post credits rolled, first thing choreographers. Like
Yeah, and the
top line.
music was right after that.
Yep.
And then it was all like assistant directors and all
If
those
you cut
pieces
the
of shit.
dancing out of this, I reckon you only had like 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Of
There was not a lot of
movie.
movie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And it is interesting.
And you
that
could have cut a further 20 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Like just scenes I don't remember that didn't.
sliced alone, huh? It's like just picturing him like behind a camera setting up shots for just another long dance sequence,
Yeah.
and the way they'd always do the cross dissolve from shot to shot, and like that weirded me out the whole time. I'm just like roided up, sliced alone, being like, well, the lighting's not good here. Let's get some more dancers on stage.
But also, there was the scene in the final performance that was all in slow-mo.
Yeah.
And it was them jump. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I would say not a truly. I don't think I gave a score, but I think 5.5 is a that's an accurate summation. It's watchable. Am I like excited to watch it again? No.
I almost watched
Would you watch it in normal speed?
I would not watch it in normal speed. I would show it to people at 1.5.
the way
best
God
way.
intended.
The way God intended. I would watch Saturday Night Fever. It's only fair to watch that at maybe 0.75 speed.
Oh,
Alright.
slow to make up for it.
To make up the time.
I do want to see that now because I want to know
Yeah,
the
me too.
relationships, what gets set up. I'm assuming the mum character's in it. I'm assuming Kurtwood Smith is in it, and I'm assuming the woman that he spoke to at the scene at the stairs. Maybe she was like a black woman, or she was like a teacher at the school or whatever.
And he was like, "Here's a dime.
Yeah.
That'll go towards
Oh,
the $1 million
yeah.
I owe you."
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, yeah, thanks. I will keep it. And he's like, "Yeah,
yeah,
I
knew you
will."
would. Yeah, that was so weird as well. And I'm like, there's an established relationship here that I'm not privy to.
Yeah.
So
Forgot
I do
about
want to
her.
see what gets set up, and maybe I'm assuming the Jackie character is a big part of that movie as well.
I
right?
wonder,
if
yeah.
she's not, that would be a weird.
Yeah,
it's just a new
bizarre.
girlfriend that he's got.
One more thing that I read about the Staying Alive, Saturday Night Fever, is the montage where he's walking to his mum's house in Brooklyn from Manhattan, which is another long montage with the Bee Gees song. He walks past the discotheque that features in Saturday Night Fever.
Oh yeah.
And it's been renamed, and it's now a gay bar.
Oh,
and he looks at it, he wants to go in, and he's like, "Oh shit, it's a gay bar now." And he like scuffs his feet on the ground. He's like, "I can't go in there anymore. Things have changed around my neighborhood," and it's like a
This
sign.
happened in the movie we just
This
watched.
happened in the
I don't
movie.
remember.
Yeah, there's a
yeah,
montage.
no.
I remember seeing it. He walks past this bar, and I didn't think like that's a gay bar or anything like that. But then I read up, and I'm like, "Oh, that used to be the discotheque, and now it's a gay bar." And
Callback.
he's upset because he can't go.
Now,
in.
how do you identify that it's a gay bar?
Here's it called.
I don't know. Well, that's what's written in it.
Okay.
Man.
It is.
I
John
can't remember what
Travolta.
it's called. I can't remember what the bar's called.
Knows.
Yeah, he can tell.
He's got an innate sense.
Yeah.
Do we talk at all about John Travolta? We've got a few opportunities to talk about John Travolta because I know a lot about John Travolta.
Do you now?
That well, I know that he has, and like this is from the Church of Scientology, which he's a prominent member of. He has a
Long-standing.
license to kill.
from the
What?
church.
This is true.
I don't think that
He
qualifies
and
into
other
federal
operating
law, though.
thetans. He is not as high of a because OT4 is what Tom Cruise is. I think John Travolta is like 2 operating thetan levels lower.
Right.
He's an OT2. But all operating thetans have a license to kill,
What?
which means that if they kill someone,
The church will cover it up.
the entire church
Will protect them.
has an obligation to cover it up.
That's crazy.
insane.
Now I
That's
see why
so-
people would want to be in on this
Hell
cult. Like,
yeah.
Exactly.
you get to that level.
There's so many people I want to kill.
I do know that he had a son that died in a bathtub.
I think he
drowned.
I thought it was a car crash.
Yeah,
I
don't
thought he
know.
had like a seizure in the bath and like drowned. And
All I know is that his son's name was Jet.
That's
yeah.
right.
And that it's a horrible tragedy.
And there's part of Scientology that's like they don't believe in common
Baths.
medicine or like
Yeah.
helping people that are having like. So if you're having a seizure, they're
God.
not like give him his seizure medication. They're like let him drown.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I know that
And if he's got a license to kill, they're like, yeah, well, negligent homicide. We'll cover that
cover it
for
up.
you.
well, Scientology came into John Travolta's life, I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe it was after Saturday Night Fever, which was a considerably darker movie.
Yeah.
And the choices of roles that they would give or pick for John Travolta were to help him, they're a Hollywood religion. And
Yeah.
so supposedly that's his 80s career was really...
Ooh, maybe this film was
informed.
touched by Scientology in some way. Maybe there were other things
I
that were
think
going to
there are
happen
some
in it.
things in there that may...
Where they're like, my character can't do that.
Right.
No more sex and drugs.
Yeah,
Just purity and
But he still has sex with both of the girls in this
They
movie.
don't actually show
at least
him
the
having
English girl.
sex.
He's in bed with her
It's
at like
implied.
3 a.m.
Yeah, there's a
Like-
silhouette of him and Jackie early on in the movie.
But they're not
They're
fucking.
just sitting in
They're
bed.
just chatting.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got to get something going today.
Yeah, that's right. That's like early in the morning, though, right? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
She's
and
like, stay. He's like, I gotta get something
hang out.
going.
Yeah, he's just like, I gotta get something going.
Then what does he do? Just like, oh,
Sleep.
that's when he goes for the montage of walking into all the like casting
Yeah.
agents.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
He's trying to get something going. All right, so Staying Alive, 1983, $22 million budget, $65 million at the box office,
wait, say those numbers again.
$65
$22 million
22 to
budget,
60.
and then $65 million box office.
That's a
I'm
successful
pretty
movie.
sure
Tripled their money.
Saturday Night Fever had a budget of something like 5 or 6 million
Okay.
and made well over 200 million at the box
That's
office.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Well, so this movie, I did think the production values were like fairly high. Most of it was really set just around like dirty walls and stuff, like alley
Yeah, there was a
kind
lot of
like-
graffiti and I
Yeah.
guess it's meant to be New York and gritty and stuff. But even in the dance studios,
Yeah,
there was just like
they-
piss
and
on
his
the wall.
apartment was like terrible as
Oh
well.
yeah, he's washing his clothes in the shower
yeah.
instead of like.
That was the other thing is like 2 minutes into the movie or after the opening scene, after he leaves, he just goes into his house and takes his shirt off. And, like first thing he does
Yeah.
when he walks in the house, takes his shirt off, and it's just like him in the shower. I'm like, this is for the women that have come out.
Yeah.
For the ladies.
But that, I mean, yeah, I was watching it and I thought it would be a cheap sequel, like a,
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
But I was like, the money they put into the stage production stuff, was,
Yeah.
that was like a big show.
All right. Well, next time we're going to be talking about Jaws: The Revenge.
Oh.
That came out in 1987. I've just opened up the Wikipedia just to get a little
I
glimpse.
feel
at
like
it.
that's not the sequel. I reckon that's a couple down the way.
Maybe it's a
That's-
prequel.
that's
No, it's-
three.
because
I'll-
I reckon it's 4.
I'll give us.
Four?
Yeah, I'll give us a
Oh,
little
wow.
insight into this. It is the fourth Jaws.
Yes.
I know who's in this.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
and
Oh,
John
sick.
Travolta.
I'm excited.
There's
for
like
this
a
one.
quote where they said, "Hey, Michael Caine, have you seen Jaws: The Revenge yet?" And because it's like getting horribly panned, and he's like, "I haven't seen it, but I have seen the house that I bought with it. And that's pretty good."
That's awesome.
Well, thank you everybody for listening to the inaugural episode of Truly Rotten Tomatoes. We're going to be back soon with Jaws: The Revenge.